Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Emergent Gamer Podcast, episode 243. I'm one of your hosts, Neo Ayoshi, alongside Trip Zero.
Trip Zero. What's up, guys? Trip Zero TV. How you doing?
How you doing, Trip? What's going on?
I'm doing great, man. We're doing a Discord show.
We are.
Not for what are probably obvious reasons, but because we have a very special guest tonight on the show, and I'll let you introduce him, Neo.
This is Charles from Coffee Addict Studios.
Yep.
Charles, say hello.
Hi.
How are you doing? How are you doing
Not
tonight?
nervous.
Not at all. Not at all. Charles, thank you for being here tonight. This is a lot of fun. We're excited to talk to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Before we get started, let me just do a little housekeeping. You can find
right through it.
Yeah, you can find us on YouTube now at Emergent Gamer. You can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We post a whole lot of stuff every week. So go on there, rate us, like us, all that good stuff. Tell your friends, as Felix Hergood would say, who is not here tonight. Tell all your friends and your mom. Yeah, for sure. They want to know about this upcoming game, Hazel Sky. So without further ado, let's just jump right into Coffee Addict Studio and Charles. So Charles,
Hi.
how you doing?
I'm great right now.
You make games.
Yeah.
What's your forte? What's your role on the game?
I'm like the creative director. I wrote this last game. I also do the game design, and it's just a general managing role, assign people's tasks. We are 6 people right here, but aside from actors and everybody from another indie that help us, so that's director, something like that. Everybody here does a lot of things because it's an indie studio doing the game looks kind of AAA, right? So
it's got a great look to it. Yeah,
everybody has like 5 jobs assigned, so it's really crazy. And
before we dive into the game, let's talk about how you started out in making game design and doing game design.
Sure.
So what brought you to making Coffee Addict Studios or joining them?
So we founded Coffee Addict Studios because we are getting our university degrees here in the local university, and I met the guy that was like a genius programmer. Like, he was in the first semester and he was like trying to make an engine to make his own game and all that, and I was like, dude, you are too smart to be like fixing computers. And what he would do if he stopped making games like what he wanted. So we just started to call teachers. So there's a thing here in Brazil that we don't pay for this university. It's public. So
wow,
but we
sounds
can
nice.
Get money. Great. But we can get money to study if we have a project. So we said, our project is a game, and we decided to make some cultural and educational games.
I'm sorry, say that again. A cultural,
involving Brazilian culture.
Brazilian culture. Oh, gotcha.
Right. It's really boring shit. So we started making that stuff and learning how to use CryEngine, Unreal Engine, Unity, and how to model and sculpt everything. That was like 3-4 years, and we made like 2-3 games. And after the second one, we were like, I think we can make a game. And we shouldn't, but we did what is called Blade and Bones, and we decided to make up the company, and everybody gave up on the university. Me and the animator Fabio Bison are the two that ended up getting the degree because the studio went well. So we made Blade and Bones and launched it in 2016 November on PC and on PS4 May of the.
So according to your website, you guys were founded in 2014.
Yeah, because we worked without being a company way before, so we were making games 2013 already.
So you made it official in like 2014.
Yeah, we like
under a company
a
umbrella.
lawyer and everything. Yeah. So, but we were like in the kitchen of a friend of ours, just making the game and the prototype that would become Blade and Bones, the disaster Blade and Bones. So
now, why call it a disaster? I looked at some of the video and screenshots of it.
Yeah, I was watching some of the gameplay as well.
There's a lot of good ideas, but we ran out of budget, so everything went bad. And there are really hardcore fans like played it 20 hours and they send us emails. This could be the best game ever, like the best Souls-like day, and we would love to update it, but it's just everything is wrong from the ground up in our new perspective.
What was the idea you had when making Blade and Bones? Was your inspiration like Dark Souls, a Dark Souls-like game?
We wanted to make something like Dark Souls with Shadow of the Colossus and Journey vibes. Like we wanted just the boss, and we wanted really lore-heavy stuff.
The art style, direct. Very Journey-like.
Yeah,
I can tell. Yeah,
but we didn't have a concept artist, for instance. We did it all without just let's do stuff. We didn't have like art direction really like we have with Hazel Sky. Like we make the lightning the most important stuff in Hazel right now. So just from the ground up, everything's first the light, then we just create the environment to best showcase the light. So it's way better. Like you can look at Hazel and Blade and Bones doesn't look like the same developer, at least for us.
Yeah, I think it's important to have a project like that to kind of cut your teeth on and make the mistakes so you know what to do better. And I mean, from my perspective, from watching some video of Blade and Bones and reading some reviews about it, like sure there were some growing pains, but I think the concept there was really great. A way of like combining like a Metroidvania world with this sharp combat, having to engage yourself kind of every time you fight something. And I mean, I would consider that a success because it's leading to so much more, so
sure. And I really love the lore that we created for the game, because the idea was before the Homo sapiens we were that, and the final part of the game is you killing this god and he becoming the first woman.
Spoilers, by the way.
Spoilers. Please don't play this game. But
I was tempted for a minute though.
So there are a lot of special ideas and different things that really makes the game shine. But there are critical things like this word collision, the hit collision. It's totally broken. Like our programmers cringe every time they see the logo of Blade and Bones because of that, because they know if the FPS is low, it's not gonna hit the enemy because they did something really wrong when
interesting
we're doing. So yeah, one day we will remake Blade and Bones, like
a remaster kind of thing.
Yeah, but we need to be really rich,
like the way you wanted to make it. Yeah. What engine did you guys program Blade and Bones on?
Unreal Engine 4.
Unreal Engine 4.
We are in Hazel Sky.
Hazel Sky as well. Oh, cool. Did you guys? Hang on. So I do really like the art style of Blade and Bones, and don't worry, we're gonna get into Hazel Sky, but and I think there is something really fascinating there with what you were doing with the lore aspect, the story, and the art. The art direction alone, you can tell where it evolved to in Hazel Sky. Like I can see you have great art direction, and it translates very well into Hazel Sky's I guess Lonely Island feel to it. Now, Trip, do you have anything else about Blade and Bones?
More so just about not about Blade and Bones itself. I think we've kind of talked about that concept. But I'm still before we dive deep into Hazel, I'm kind of curious about how you guys work, because I like the concept of like just 6 devs kind of hanging out together, like making the dream come true. Some just leaving school and making it happen. I know you mentioned that everyone is very busy too, tackling a lot of jobs. So how does that kind of break down when you guys design something or get together or figure out what you're working on?
It's really weird because every time we talk about hiring someone to work here, we always talk like it's gonna be a degenerate like us, because we just are racist with each other. We are everything bad there is, like socially with each other, because we are so close as friends.
Just close. There's no filter between everybody. Yeah,
nothing at all. Yeah. So I just come on to Fabio and I say, this animation sucks so much. You have no shame at putting this out there. And he's like, go fuck yourself. And we start fighting. But at the end of the day, everything goes well, like with no hard feelings, anything like that. So I think that one of the things, like I call them sometimes like in the middle of the night and like, yeah, like the rope system. And I don't know if you guys saw in the trailer.
Yeah.
2 weeks before the trailer comes out, we didn't have that system.
Wow.
Really?
I was just like, I was playing, I was playing the Star Wars, the last Star Wars.
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order. And I was looking at the rope and I was like, this is so easy to do. Because they use the Unreal Engine, so you can see the cable system, everything they are using. We know exactly how to do that. And I start showing a programmer, I start showing everybody, like, we can do that really easy. Like in 4 days, it was running on the game. Like,
wow, 4 days to make that happen. That's amazing.
You guys find Unreal Engine really easy to work with?
Yeah, it's the best. Like Unity has a lot of tools that we look and just our eyes bright, but it's really hard for us to go away from Unreal. Like this part for making available in consoles and everything else is so easy that, and they gave us the dev grant, like we won from Hazel Sky. Like we can't go back from that, I think.
What did you win specifically?
$15,000. The real dev grant, mega grant, I think they call.
What program was this?
Just they are giving $1 million to developers of that, like if the game looks good, something like that. So he just sent to them and they grant us, and that was like saved our lives. Aside from our publisher, that also saved our lives. But
that's another indie studio, right?
Another indie, yes.
Another indie
is the name of the publishing company.
Yes.
How did you guys get involved with them? Were they part of the grant, or was that a different process?
Not at all. Well, we got the grant after we got another. So we didn't know Hazel Sky looked good because we were working for like 3 years and a half, and we were just tired and not seeing any money, and the money came from Blade and Bones already ran out. So we just started sending publishers the game, and every publisher was like coming hard and like, this game looks great and everything else. But the first publisher that talked to us was another indie, and they are so like us, like there's no filter. Vlad, the guy, the community PR, he just called me like the next day after he saw the trailer of the game that I sent him. So every other company wanted me to answer like 35 questions about the game, the age rating and things like that. Vlad just called me and was like, the game looks great, let me play it. And from now on, I don't see ourselves publishing with another publisher aside from another indies. So, and the wish lists alone we got on Steam is just scary compared to Blade and Bones. Like, it's 100 times the number from the announcement.
Oh wow! Are you comfortable with kind of talking about how much interest there's been so far with that, numbers wise?
Well, our director from another indie just said on Twitter, like yesterday, the number of wish lists has passed 10,000. So,
oh wow!
Congratulations!
That's amazing.
Yeah, like 2 weeks. So everything.
That's awesome. Really, that's super cool.
Well. Yeah.
So when publishers come to you, they ask you about like getting the age ratings and like what's the content of the game, and you found that another indie was like this was the publisher that was easiest to communicate with.
Another indie was like, you guys just make the game, we will sell it, and they were so direct about how much they liked the game, and they really saw what the game was about. Other publishers were like, let's make this full Uncharted, or let's make they just wanted us to make the game, you know. So, and it's really, really hard to trust in a Brazilian company because there's not much studios around here. Like, we talk with everybody like on the street, and we say that we are game developers, and they're like, what is that? It's like, it's really hard to have a Brazilian developing company like us.
Are they an American company?
Another indie. I think they are Irish, but their HQ is on Taiwan. I think so.
Are there like many language barriers between?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you guys like? What's it like communicating? I'm curious. I don't know anything about this process. So
Ian is British, so Vlad, I don't know what he is, but they all speak English.
okay.
Vlad's Chinese also, I guess. So everyone that I talk speaks English. So that's the connecting
It's
factor.
a good middle ground between everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Any other questions, Trip? Or shall we move into?
No, I think let's go into Hazel Sky, and I think we can link one of these into a question that Locke had. Lock and Key is another one of our hosts, Charles, on the show normally, and he's got actually two parts, so we'll save the second part for a little bit later when we're winding down. But he kind of asks what was the inspiration for Hazel Sky. So if you want to take us on like the origin story, that would be pretty cool.
It's pretty simple. I was in a 7-year relationship, and we broke up just when a month after we launched Blade and Bones. So I was crying like really hard, and I just wrote the entire conversation between Aaron and Shane. They had you when you play Hazel Sky, you start talking to a girl via radio, and becomes a really deep and personal relationship little by little. So I just wrote this entire script from their conversations, from Shane's point of view, and from that on, I was like, what would fit on this game? And of course, I have played Firewatch, but I didn't think about it when I was making the game design. So we wanted to make something like Inside, because I had played Inside and just loved how they didn't have.
There's no dialogue. Yeah.
There's no widget. There's no widget. I mean, user interface. There's nothing. There's no tutorial. We wanted that, and we are trying to make that a possibility in Hazel Sky too. So because Hazel Sky, different from Inside or these another games that we get compared to like Crime, has a lot of lore. There are books so you can open and read. There's a radio with radio stations playing content like that will not repeat. We are trying.
Wow.
So there's a lot of content and drawings from people. There's a lot of content to be consumed, different from these games, because Inside you just play through it all and it's over, right? What was the question? I just lost myself. So
you're
that's
just
great.
kind of telling us your inspiration for Hazel Sky, the things that got you kind of going and thinking and making.
Then we started to just try to imitate plays that Inside, the way we remove blanks. We have the similar system, but third-person view instead of like a platformer. The
2D one, yeah.
Yeah, and we started to think the game was kind of boring at that stage, so we started thinking in things like Uncharted's slide, the way you slide on mud and things like that. And the game has like action set pieces right now. Is people think that it's not a walking simulator. There are a lot of big crazy explosions and things like that.
Cool.
It does. When I did see when I watched the trailer, I did notice a lot of things that go, oh, he's sliding and jumping to a rope. Very Uncharted like, yeah.
We are trying to do something similar, but there's a little twist in our platforming, because you guys played Little Nightmares.
I have not played Little Nightmares. I played Inside though.
So we have a unification input system, what we call. Everything in the game you grip with R2 on PlayStation, or I don't remember the Xbox One because I only have PlayStation. So you grip with R2 and you need to grip on climbing. Our climbing may look like Uncharted, but you need to press R2 every time you are holding. The same goes for the ropes and zip line and everything like that. So making this unification of input, we don't have to tell the player like, you need to grab this piece of wood. We don't tell him R2 to pick the wood. We just told him one time R2 to grip, and he will figure everything out pressing R2. That's the way we are trying to make the game look more like Inside, like what we inspired us.
Yeah, you want to make it as intuitive as possible past like the initial opening of the game, right? Like the beginning stages.
What we really want to do before the game releases is don't tell anything. Like, he will press a button to grip. That's our perfect way of making the game. But let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And let the player like explore around their space, really. Yeah.
You're gonna press the buttons. You're not just gonna move the camera and the
Yeah.
So let's see. Maybe we are thinking about a tutorial system just to tip the player, like Uncharted does this really well. Not really well. Sometimes I'm 2 minutes trying to make a puzzle, and the camera turns around showing the how to solve it. But we want to do something similar.
So do you want to make these puzzles? Do you want to put them in the player's hands more than like say Uncharted would do when they kind of give you those hints? The character will like Nathan Drake will like say like, oh, what if I put this piece over here? Are you going to let the player do the solving himself? Yeah,
we have some remarks, but our puzzles are really simple. Like aside from some ones on the late game, there's a puzzle that includes a cow and making food to her and everything like that. There's a little more complex, but most of the puzzles in the game are really like a platforming puzzle, not really complicated. So it's simple as moving a box to reach something, to release another box so you can go across a place, something like that, So it's not really heavy. We don't want to frustrate the player. Like I was never frustrated playing inside, and I really liked that. Like once or twice I got like, damn, I can't do this, and we really don't want to make the players because it's a story-driven game. Above it all is we want players to see what happens in the end of the game, which is really different. People are thinking the game is entirely on the island, and it's not.
Oh, that's a spoiler.
Ooh,
that's a spoiler. Don't spoil it
at all. So let's we will show more of that in the next trailer. You show more of the city when you arrive there and everything like that.
What goes in? I don't get to ask this that often, but what goes into making like 3D based puzzles? Like, is it do you start at the solution and work your way back, or like when it comes to like moving boxes to solve a thing or finding context clues in the environment, like, is that a difficult thing to design?
Not really. It's pretty organic, at least how we do here at COF, because we take input from everyone, like anyone from the team or even outside can come and say what they think about any section of the game. So we always start on Hazel Sky. The main thing on the 4 sections of the game is to fix the machine to reach the next area. So there are puzzles to reach those resources and the upgrades needed to fix the machine. So these are just the core puzzles, but there are like side puzzles that will reward you with just lore. Like there's a puzzle in the game where you need to swim like a random place and look at a number on the submarine, go back and pick a lock, like those numbered locks.
Yeah,
where you spin the
combination.
The dials,
the same number of the submarine. So you will get a ear, a bloodied ear that you can carry around, and you'll just hear the ghosts. There are ghosts in the game. I'm just spoiling. There are ghosts in the game that you can hear giving different. You see some bodies in the trailer, and they will just tell how the body came about, how he died or she died.
Oh wow!
Like context clues of the world, right?
Yeah. But not to solve the puzzles, just to
build
it.
Yeah.
So you can finish the game without picking this year at all. Like everything will go fine. So these are the best puzzles, at least for me. Like totally optional, and I didn't answer your question because I started blabbering about the game.
No. I think it all works together. I think it's really, really cool talking about like puzzle design, like major puzzle design, the things that will guide the player towards the story you want, but also like they're really rewarding exploring the environment puzzles to get to the lore, because I love like the lore. If I like playing a game, I want to know the entire story around it, even if it's not crucial at all to the thing you're doing in the game. I love knowing the world, the setting, the people, why they're doing the things that they're doing. So I'm excited to find this ear. I'm gonna do all the ghost listening.
There's also finger, but I'm not gonna tell you that.
Leading into a listener question, Ezra's on Twitter asks, what was one of the biggest challenges you faced while developing the game? Whether it be designing it or working with your team, anything like that.
There are so many things that comes from just being an entrepreneur in Brazil. So it like taxes, just taxes fuck us so hard. You guys don't have any idea.
Texas,
like,
the state?
No, Texas.
No, sorry.
Taxes. Oh, I'm sorry.
So
yeah,
and we were being like double taxed because the game is sold in the US, so we get taxed there, and here you are taxed again.
I do know when you go to buy like a PlayStation 4, I know those are severely marked up due to like certain import taxes.
Yeah,
right.
When launched, it was 4,000 reais, which is like
US dollars.
$1,200, something like that.
Wow. That's insane. For reference for people, it's the PlayStation 4 was $400 US dollars at launch.
Yeah, so it's 3 times the value. So this is a really big. And aside from that, we can't find. Let's say we need another animator because Fabio has too much work. He does all the animations in the game. We can find an animator that will not want like $2,000 for each animation. Like in Brazil, it's so rare anyone from the gaming industry. So and if you're gonna pay someone, I don't know, from Germany to make the animation, then with the dollar is like, it's so bad in the last 4 or 5 years because I think 2 reais were $1 9-10 years ago, I think, and now it's like 5. So if you're gonna pay something, that's one of the reasons why we got a publisher. We can't pay for marketing. It's so expensive for us, so we just do our national marketing. They are covering everything outside from Brazil, and I went random again.
No. It brings a lot of insight because it's a struggle that I don't think people think about. Like things need to be paid for. People need to be paid for the work that they do. Passion projects only take you so far, and having to work through like multiple layers of that is definitely frustrating. I'm sure to try to be creative and make the vision, but also balance the financial needs too.
Yeah, I don't even think like the average gamer even realizes what it takes to get a game made. Especially like
they just get mad when they don't like something in the game.
Exactly. It's so easy to get mad at it, but they don't realize that there's people like you who are, pen to paper, like trying to get things done. And you don't have a 100-person team. You're not Activision. You're not these big companies. So it's those trials and tribulations that you have to overcome are gigantic.
Yeah. But another indie is making us feel like Activision. Like the deal we made with them is so better than everyone else in the industry that talked to us. Like big publishers talked to us, and they were not even close because I understand them. They can't trust a studio that never put out a good game. But another indie was like, let's do it, and we feel so safe right now because of that. So
that's got to be a huge relief to be able to, focus on you and let them, people that you said, you got a great kind of interaction style with them. They match your friends in the studio. It's just got to feel great to work with them.
Yeah, they're really silly. They are great people.
I want to ask you something else about the trailer.
Sure.
There is a segment of the trailer where your character is playing guitar.
Yeah.
Now, is that inspired from yourself? Do you play a musical instrument?
Not as well as our animator, Fabio Bison, which did the animations. Like, it's perfect, the charts he does, I guess. So everybody here loves music, and it's a team in the game. Like Shane wants to play music, but it's like a secret in the family. His dad also plays, but they can never play because the engineers rule out some years ago any form of art inside the city. So
I'm already interested from this lore right here. I do play guitar myself. Just little spoiler.
You're gonna love it.
I'm gonna be sitting here strumming along with the character in the game.
Yeah, and the guitar. In the start of the game, we wanted to play to make the game like freeform for guys like you. Like you know how to play guitar, so you're gonna see the charts. You're gonna change like the harmonic field,
So you
but
can actually you have the ability to kind of play whatever
you
a little
used to
bit.
have. You
Sure. I
could
mean,
play.
within
We
within
wanted
reason.
to make the game so you could play anything that has a chart. We wanted you want to play Red Hot Chili Peppers Can't Stop, you can play it. But it was getting really hard to make the sound and the animation sync up in the good way. Like the animation started cutting, and it's getting really weird visually. So we decided to make a really big decision that is like turn the guitar in more of a puzzle. And you have these pamphlets in the game that say like this is a song. You play these 5 charts and you're gonna unlock the song, and you play those 5 chords, and he starts strumming the entire music all by himself, and starts singing along sometimes. And it's a pretty cool system that we work it a lot.
I'm excited for it. That was one of the things that definitely grabbed my attention. I'm glad Neo asked the question
Every
about
music
it.
in the game is original and composed by our composer Leonardo Campos. He did an amazing job.
That's super cool.
So there's original music that you guys have composed for the game.
Sure. Our musician has a band here in our town. So, and it's really psychedelic and experimental music. Then we showed him the game and asked if he wanted to work with us. And he's just, the music from the trailer is from him. Every single music in the game is from him, aside from the radio. The radio, we got in touch with a lot of weird indie bands like that play music that looks like it's from the 30s and 40s, and we just signed it like, you guys want to put the, like, we give you $100, we don't have any money, but you guys
I was gonna ask, how hard is it to get music, licensed music in the game?
Well, from the bands were so nice with us. No, not at all. Like I just remember I talked like 300 bands and like 5 answered, and those 5 are signed it. And a lot of people got offended, like, you're not gonna pay me. We're gonna give you credit.
Yeah.
But Secret Jane is a band, like a country weird band that we signed it, and their music is so good. Like they just didn't have many followers, and they were like, sure, you guys can play our songs. And we signed it 5 musics from them, I guess. So there's another one chamada Daisy May, which is they do like blues Paris style, really cool songs too. Is also in the game. So aside from those musics, every music in the game is from Leonardo.
So with the radio and the guitar, do you carry these with you throughout the island, or are they in specific?
Radio that you talk with Aaron, yes, but the radio that plays music is around the. You also hear news from the city. Like there's a rebellion from the artists and beggars from the city are trying to overthrow the engineers.
Oh.
So while are you playing, you are hearing how bad is getting there, and they're gonna kill your dad because your dad is an engineer. So you start rushing to get to the city.
Without getting too spoilerly, what is the? Did we talk about the plot already? Like the base plot.
Well,
like what is the character's like? What's he doing on the island?
Every kid when becomes like 13, 14 years old, 14 years old, he goes to the island. Every person that is from an engineering family. So his dad, Flynn Casey, brings Shane. That's the opening of the game. Flynn using a boat to deliver Shane to the island. So it's the same island that his father, his grandfather, and everyone else used. So he needs to make a plane and fly to the city. But everything goes a little south, and he goes reaching another island, and there's a lot of problems going. So the objective is to reach the city, and when you reach the city, you become engineer. You get the seal done, and you are now officially a Gideon engineer, the highest class in the city. But while doing that, Shane starts to question himself. I really want to be an engineer because there are a lot of people who meet friends of his and cousins that just decided to live in the island or go out or kill themselves and things like that inside the island because they didn't want it to be engineers. So the journey in the game is about that. And he meets Erin, so shouldn't I just go meet her instead of going to the city? And I'm not gonna tell much more of it. It's really cool.
That sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to find out more.
I almost said a really big spoiler.
No spoilers. We want people to enjoy it when it comes out.
They can get maybe some more secret teases than they would otherwise here, but definitely no major spoilers. That's for sure.
It's really hard to edit the trailer with no spoilers. You guys have no idea.
I mean, you did a great job making it look very action packed. Do you edit specifically the trailer?
I did edit the trailer. Yeah.
It's pretty good, and they posted it on the PlayStation YouTube.
Yeah, and our next trailer will
cool.
be so much better. You guys have no idea. Like,
oh, that's exciting.
It's gonna
show like people that have been watching and following. They get this like build up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Do you want to tell us when that trailer will drop, or is that a surprise? Is that something you want to keep?
I think in 2 or 3 months, something like that. Of course, it's our publisher's decision, not ours. But
sure.
I'm starting to write some stuff to. There will be a voiceover and like the first one, but will not be Shane's father. Like the first one will be Erin, the girl he talks to. So let's see.
Interesting. So you can get more of an idea of the characters.
Yeah. The perspectives, like.
Yeah, for sure.
Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else? Trip, you got anything else?
Kind of a comment I think that could probably start some more conversation. We talked about the design a little bit and what all went into it. Watching the trailer for the first time was kind of a ride because I'm watching it first and it's reminding me of like a 3-dimensional, like, you know, those old school PC exploration games. I mean, Myst is probably the most obvious example. It seemed like something like that. But then, you mentioned like the sliding and the jumping, and then you see the rope and the planes and everything and exploring, and it seemed like people have already mentioned Uncharted and things like that. Did you want this game to feel strongly in any one of those like directions, or was this a natural progression, or were you like? So I guess that's the question. Were you leaning towards a certain genre, or did you want to kind of transcend that and make it more than kind of the sum of these different styles?
It's weird because we work really organically, like we said about the rope that was in the game like 2 months ago. So the design goes like, are we bored right now playing the game? If we are, we need to change something up. So we just keep doing that. And so we have a strong vision about where we want to go, but about the player, what the player is feeling, we don't have. So we're gonna change the game. We kind of promise it to each other, like we're not gonna release another game like Blade and Bones, like it's not that it was not ready. So we're just trying to polish it like really, really, really much. So there's almost anything you can say bad about the game. We are just like, if you don't like the game, it's because you don't like exploration, story-driven games. It's not something wrong with the game. So we're just trying to polishing everything up, and this includes the design in the way you were talking. Like, we feel great when they talk about Uncharted because we love Uncharted so much. So it's a great comparison. Like, if Naughty Dog like tweets us out, I would just start crying. But let's see where the game takes us. But I guess we'll sound something similar to, because we have some action set pieces, like we sliding, jumping on the rope, and something collapsing. We have some stuff on that on the game. So I feel like the section in Uncharted where you go to Madagascar, Uncharted 4, or the Lost Legacy, when you play with Chloe, and you're just those open areas, the big forest on the Lost Legacy, I was trying to say. We want the game to feel like that, because we can't make 2 hours cutscene. We don't have that money. So we just try to do the easier part for us, which is the gameplay part of the puzzles and everything else. So what we are trying to do is like one big area, move to another big area, move to another big area.
Just create the world, the playground for the player to
And the
just
set
exist in.
pieces connecting each one. So that's the full game.
Now, so I've also noticed it's very, like Trip said, very Myst-like. There's also a lot of Firewatch you mentioned earlier. I see a lot of inspiration for those narrative-driven kind of puzzle games.
I hate the ending of Firewatch. You guys have no idea.
I never beat it. I think I stopped like halfway through it.
When I was writing the end of Hazel, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be so like this is gonna be the end that I wanted for Firewatch."
Nice. That's the way to do it. Yeah.
Satisfying. Okay, I'm sorry I interrupted.
Oh no, it's fine. I'm just like kind of pointing out like the things that the inspiration that I can see like that like shows through the trailer, but I feel I don't want to like directly go, oh, it looks like you're, you know,
ripping someone off.
Because it doesn't. It looks like a very original idea and a very original like take on the genre of adventure puzzle games.
Sure.
I don't know.
I think that's a good place. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't feel bad when they make this comparison because they are all games that we love, like Rhyme and Aiku and everything they say. The game, so much good stuff, at least for us. And the like and dislike radio on our trailer is so positive. It's like 99% positive. So we feel like even if the comments are 10% bad, they are still people are really enjoying the game, and so we are safe at least.
I think so.
Yeah, off to a great start, that's for sure.
Trip, what were we
I was gonna say, I think this is a good kind of lead-in to kind of more of a similar but different conversation directly about your favorite games. Our other host, Lockie, asked, what are some of your favorite games that you like to play? Not even ones that have to, influence Hazel or things like it made you think about Hazel. Just like the things that you unwind with, what you play with your friends, that kind of stuff.
Well, I love a Journey. Like Journey is the game that made me decide I'm gonna be a game developer. Like
Journey's beautiful.
It's an experience.
Yeah, it's unique. There's no way to. There's no other game that's Abzu sucks. I don't care if you guys enjoy it.
I liked Abzu and Journey.
Abzu is a full ripoff. Like they didn't even try it.
Oh, I love it. I love the take.
But I enjoy like playing Abzu itself. But I don't like thinking about Abzu. I think that's the the crucial point.
That's a good distinction. You think more fondly and had a better experience with Journey.
Yeah, I had fun with. It's the same composer, I think, right?
Oh, I don't know.
The composer.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I'm gonna look that up actually while we're chatting.
Okay.
What other games do you find yourself unwinding to?
There's so many AAA games. I love I love anything Naughty Dog or Rockstar does. So that's pretty common to say. Like, it's universal acclaim, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's pretty diverse here on studio as well. Like, there are people that just play Counter-Strike.
Oh, nice.
They're just like really focused on League of Legends and other games. But I'm the more artsy, strange, and Bruno, the genius programmer, is also like that. Like the weirdest experience possible we try to go to. So we play a lot of stuff. What I'm playing right now, I'm playing Sekiro.
How are you liking it?
I'm loving it. It's everything that I didn't like on Dark Souls. Like I was starting to hate the idea that I can just farm and kill every boss on Dark Souls 2, 3, 1. So I was like, make me change my play style, not just farm. So it's really hard to farm on Sekiro. I don't know if you guys play it. It's way more about you understanding the bosses and how to defeat them. So
rather than like leveling up and getting stronger so you can take them down faster.
Yeah, just grinding. What I did on every other Souls-like game. So
now, is that something you would have liked? Like you mentioned earlier in the beginning of the podcast here, that you would eventually go back and remake Blade and Bones.
Blade and Bones doesn't have a level system. I was already thinking like that.
Oh,
the game, you really need to understand the
combat.
Boss. And not only that, there's a night system in the game. There's a better saying weak system. There's a blue knight, then the next night is a red knight, and the next night I think is a green knight. So
Oh, that's
Each
interesting.
night makes a boss react different to you, and you have
That's pretty
also
clever.
a sign system in the game where you can do like, how can I say, it's not an emoji, but you can, Journey, when you press circle and he does like ping.
Yeah, it's like the ping button. Yeah, yeah.
You have four different of those: aggressive, pacific, questionative, and I don't remember the other one. And you can do that to bosses, and they will react to it. There are bosses that you can't defeat, that you need to do passive, and they will just let you pass and give you the what you need. So the game is really weird, and that's why we still kind of enjoy him, but we hate the execution of it.
Sure.
Yeah, the ideas there are good for sure, especially that, having to think about all the tools at your disposal instead of just hacking and slashing at everything.
Yeah. So,
To answer your other, not your question, but your statement, Charles, you were 100% correct. The composer is the same
oh,
for
okay.
both Journey and Abzu.
So it's really hard to play Abzu and not enjoy like that music. So
Yeah.
that's the only reason.
I definitely enjoyed Abzu. I played it with my like 6-year-old niece at the time, and she absolutely fell in love with the whole swimming with the fish and the big whales.
Really good
Yeah.
game. For kids, right? I didn't say like that. So I love Inside so much. Like Inside is one of the best games ever made, in my opinion.
That was we had that on a Game of the Year talk a few years back.
Yeah?
It definitely popped up. Yeah, because me and Locke played it when that came out, and that was a huge game. That was just it took over a conversation for sure when we came together to talk about it.
It's so interesting, right? And I played like 10 times when we released it. I'm just obsessed with the game. I also like everything Tim Michael did, especially The Last Guardian. I just played it like 2 years ago, so
I'm sorry, what was that name again?
The Last Guardian.
Oh, The Last Guardian. Okay, yeah.
For me, it's a really underrated game. Like, for me, it's a really awesome game that has great bugs.
Sure.
Like the animal not corresponding well, but the game is really good at, I guess.
It's good at like taking you through this like world. It sounds like everything that you love, which is like big lore and adventure, and you have a partner in the game who doesn't always listen, but it's still a good teamwork can be had between the characters when it works well. Yeah. So did you like that release of Last Guardian? You really enjoyed it?
At release, I think I played a better version of the game because I played 1 or 2 years because I didn't have money to buy the game. It's really expensive games here in Brazil as well. So there are even like projects to make the money cost less here in Brazil. Just the money. The games cost less here in Brazil, like full range movements of thousands of gamers going to the street and everything like that.
Wow.
It's really about I'm waiting for a sale or something like that, and I just bought The Last Guardian when I had time, like 1-2 years after release.
Nice. Very nice.
I played the better version. Maybe I don't know if you guys played when the game released, because I heard it was way worse game when you released it.
Yeah. Weren't there issues with the companion? The bird
dog.
animal?
Yeah.
To you and everything like that. I didn't run out to almost any problem, but a friend of mine stuck and just didn't play it anymore. So mad.
Oh no.
So
let's see. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about Hazel Sky?
To people go to Steam and add to their wish lists and just spread the word and things like that, I guess.
Cool. Trip, do you have any other questions or?
I've been trying to think this whole time, and I don't think that I have any more specifically. I mean, we had a great conversation around a lot of the game. We got way more insight than I thought we were ever going to get. So yeah, I mean,
you play the game with another character. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Oh,
also,
there's a secret character.
There are gameplay segments that you don't play as Shane. There are dream sequences in the game. There are a bunch of stuff that the trailer can't show because we need to sell the game to people that are not lore heavy and this kind of stuff.
I think
Right.
that's cool when you have those kind of little hidden gems
Yeah,
with that the player won't know about.
yeah. That's the problem of me saying that right now, because we want to have that. Greg and calling everybody from Kind of Funny always talks about the time that they were playing The Last of Us and you push the stick and you are playing as Ellie, and
Right.
nobody knew about that. So it for us is, how can I say, there's not that much pressure, so we just are talking about the features of the game just to sell it. So that's it.
Oh yeah, I
I
guess
like knowing. Yeah, I just like knowing that it's bigger. You know, because we're already interested based on the trailer, but it's even more exciting knowing that there's things to find and explore and stuff we'll never see until we actually get to that moment, and that's really exciting.
Yeah, that is
Great.
pretty cool. I do like that kind of thing for sure. Just to tell the listeners how this came about. You actually posted a trailer of your game in the Kind of Funny Discord.
Yeah.
So I'm one of the moderators on the Discord there. You're a fan of Kind of Funny.
Yeah, like from podcast beyond forward.
Wow.
I listened to the game. It's like I cried when podcast beyond ended. Like that was really greatness. So I just follow the guys from their own. Like even Colin doing his stuff. Sometimes I do this podcast, but I'm always like, I love Nick. I love everybody there. So I just and I think in the Kind of Funny Facebook group, they gave us so much props when we released Blade and Bones, and I'm just using Discord so much because another indie has a really popular Discord.
Yeah, I joined that as well, by the way.
Yeah, and I was like, which other Discord server I have? Oh, Kind of Funny, I love them. Then I just pressed the layer, went to the general chat, and posted the link. And you guys said hi, and there's a lot of podcasts that I did that way, just talking randomly on Discord.
Oh, for sure. So are you familiar with when Kind of Funny does their games showcase?
Not at all.
So last year, Greg, he decided when they canceled PlayStation Experience, which usually happens in California, he decided that he wanted to get indie studios together to showcase their games, and he created a it's on their games YouTube. You can find it. They made 2 now, I think, where they take a bunch of developers like yourself, and they'll feature your games on a big reel where they cut it with comedy, and they have little segments between. It's a really cool thing that they do to highlight indie games like yourself. And I believe since we're not doing news this week, E3 was actually just canceled. Greg Miller actually tweeted today that he said he's dusting off his notes to create another showcase, because I think he might be doing that. So I wanted to just put that out there to you. Maybe we can get some tweets out there and get Greg's eyes on your game to feature this summer.
That would be so.
I think that would be a pretty cool thing if we could try and do
mobilize as much as possible. Yeah, for sure.
And
That'd be great.
Greg, like everybody says how Greg is like such a good person, but you guys have no idea. Like when I sent him the email about Blade and Bones, he was like, just send me, we are going to do a video. And of course I didn't send it because the game sucked, but Hazel Sky, but he answering the email is so much better than 99% of the people that we sent emails talking about the game. So it's great. I hope he likes. You think I should just tweet him?
Yeah, I don't know if he's actually doing it yet. He tweeted right after the news broke that E3 was canceled that he's like, okay, well, I guess we're gonna see if we could do another indie game showcase like he did. But if he does, I follow you on Twitter now. I'll be sure to send you an @ and we'll make sure to get eyes on it. That for sure. Sure. Absolutely.
That would be so freaking cool. Like, you guys have no idea.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it on that reel. That would be amazing. But anyway, I think this has been a great conversation.
Yeah, for sure. I did have one last question about Hazel Sky, unless you're free to add whatever else you want, Charles, for sure. Do we have a release date yet? Is that still up in the air? Are we allowed to talk about it?
It's before November.
Okay, that's good enough.
That's
we'll take
good.
that.
We got a window. That's perfect.
Yeah.
But the game is coming to Switch, to PS4, to Xbox One, and PC. So we never ported to Switch. So we are receiving the kit like in the coming week. So we don't know how well, because PS4 it's so easy. Like we are going to do it really fast. But those other consoles, like we had some problems with Xbox. Blade and Bones ended up not releasing on Xbox because of those problems. So
Interesting.
Let's see what happens.
That'd be cool. I would love to play a game like this on Switch, but I love playing everything on Switch.
I know.
But anyway, thank you so much for joining us, Charles.
Thank you guys for talking to me, being so sweet, and thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Great. Do you want to plug your game and your any accounts you want us to follow, or anyone listening you want us to follow, or?
Coffee Addict GS on Instagram and Coffee Studio, I guess, on Twitter. I don't remember. And we also have the Discord page from Another Indie. It's just Discord /AI, I guess, of Another Indie. So you guys can follow us. You guys can request a press copy if you want.
I already did.
On our website. And if you don't have money, you can also request there, and they're gonna give you guys. We are pretty okay with that. So that's it. The game releases this year, and I hope everybody likes play a game. It's being dubbed in Brazilian Portuguese as well as English. When we released the game on English, Brazilian fans were like, "How you're not releasing this in Brazilian Portuguese?" But we are already working on it.
I know we're like winding down now, but did you have to get voice actors for both Brazilian for both languages?
Yeah.
Was that
what you mean? Same actor doing both lines in English?
Oh yeah. Do you have one actor reading both languages, or multiple actors?
American actors do the English voiceover, and Brazilian actors do. Brazilian voice is so cheap, you guys have no idea. Everybody should localize in Brazilian Portuguese.
Oh, very cool.
That's good to know for the future.
Well, I hope everyone is looking forward to Hazel Sky.
We can put all of those like links and destinations and things in our tweets and information and things around the podcast. So we'll make it very easy to find.
We'll put them in the show notes as well. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to sign us out. I've been Neo-Ayoshi. You can follow me at Neo_Yoshi on Twitter, twitch.tv/Neo-Ayoshi on Twitch for when I go live. And Trip?
I'm Trip0TV. I'm on Mixer, mixer.com/Trip0TV, every weekday, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
All right, we'll
Cool.
see you. We'll see you
Again,
next
Charles,
time.
thank you so much, and keep a lookout for Hazel Sky.
Okay.
Thank you so much.